Hi my lovely friends. Quick disclaimer before I open my mouth tonight. My name's Dawn, you found Lounge Bar Crime. Everything you hear in this video is from my own research, it's my opinion, and it's for entertainment purpose only. That said, let's crack on. Okay, thanks everybody for all your well wishes. For them that don't know, because I put a post up, I've had pneumonia in and out of hospital a few times, but I'm fine now, I'm on the other end of it. So but when I seen what was going on here, you can see by the thumbnail what the video's about. And when I could see what was going on, I nearly jumped out of bed, nearly choked on my cocoa. I just thought, no, I've got to do something. I've got to not do something, but I've got to say something. Bit of damage control, if you like, just supporting the rest of our YouTube family. Right, so let's just get into it. I was going to do a long video on this because I was trying to do something last week, then I was trying to do something last night. I did something on Patreon and I was just absolutely exhausted, but yeah, I'll be fighting fit soon. So I'm just going to make it kind of short and sweet, possibly. Okay, so for the most of this, I'm going to let Tim Jensen speak for himself, because I'm going to mainly go off what we've seen and heard him say, and how he kind of has contradicted himself quite a bit over the last couple of years. And I've noticed that he does this on other people's channels. I know he hasn't got a channel himself, but you know, he's gone from channel to channel, or a couple of channels, let's say. And I don't want any shade casting on them channels. I'll come back to that in a bit if we have time. But yeah, I just want you to watch. I know this is going to be difficult, but let's just watch where this started with this rumour. I just want to say, I don't know what's going on here. You're going to draw your own conclusions from this, like we're all entitled to do, by the way. Because we're all invested in this case. A lot of us are and have been for a long time. I'm just going to put out there what has sort of irritated me about it all. And I want to beg the question, let's put it like that, why this is all happening. So it's like that hamster, you know, on the wheel. It's going round and round and round. We know that Donna's case, obviously, is Tuesday. Well, it's jury decisions and that are on Tuesday, Wednesday at least. So, but it's almost as though, you know, that hamster's on the wheel and somebody's got to try and stop it. So is that what this is all about? Are we trying to up-tip the trial and do something with that? I don't know. Right, so first of all, I'm just going to play for you where this started.
Podcast. Let's take a listen back to that moment before we talk about it.
I wanted to break this. This is something I just heard from a very good source. Donna was offered a plea deal of time served if she gave up Wendy. Whoa. And she turned it down. And this is inside the courthouse. She was offered, someone said, maybe give her a deal. They said, no. She was offered time served if she would give Wendy, because of her age. She turned it down.
But from there, he went from Joel's channel. Obviously, he went on Court TV. And then he went on another channel, which is Lawyer You Know, which is also a good channel. You see, what I'm playing for you first is the back end of this. And then I'm going to show you why it looks like everything's kind of flipped. And that's where I'm a bit sus. So he then goes to Lawyer You Know and he says this.
I'll probably be doing commentary, writing an article on the testimony during the trial. Maybe do some podcasts. I don't know. But, you know, and I will say this. I think Jack also, he's not going to bring charges. He doesn't firmly believe he can. And you don't want that. I think while everybody, and I'm like with you, when I say I don't think they have enough, I get all hate mail. I get people saying that, oh, I'm just trying to get, or some knucklehead says I'm getting paid by the defense. I'm getting paid by the Adelsons. I don't know if he's seen the articles I've written. If I'm getting paid by the Adelsons, they're not getting their money's worth. Or that I'm mesmerized by Wendy because I met her one time and I said her eyes were I may have said something, but I found out later they were like just colored contacts, and I never seen anything like that.
Now, he knows that that is a load of rubbish, that if he's getting paid by the Adelsons, that they're not getting their money's worth, because he hasn't said, with regards to Wendy, he's not said anything detrimental at all or against anything. In fact, he's said a couple of times that he doesn't think that they've got enough on her, which is very contradictory to what he was saying in like 22, 23. The other thing is, okay, so he talks there on Lawyer, about, some people have thought that, he was getting paid for it. And anybody that does think that, a knucklehead, you know what, that's not a bit professional for somebody. When somebody's trying to speak up for you, where saying, that you've been kind of like a respected attorney for 45 years. Really? If that's the case, you know what you're doing then, don't you? If you've been an attorney for 45 years, you know exactly what you're doing. Listen, I've been interested in true crime for 45 years as well, and I think I know what's going down here. So does a lot of other people. So I'm going to put links below of people that are trying to do damage control on this, because as much as this is going out there, these things that Tim is saying with regards to this deal, which I don't think, by the way, existed, because, well, we wouldn't, it's come from a good source. You can't say where. So, first of all, as you know, Carl Steinbeck has been doing a lot of work on this, and I totally respect that guy. And he's a respected lawyer as well. So, for as much as we talk about Tim Jansen, he's been a lawyer, he's been a respected attorney for 45 years. Mental lawyer's a respected attorney. So is Carl Steinbeck. They're respected as well. So what does that mean? It means nothing, does it? It doesn't mean that just because he's a respected, that everything that he's saying is correct or even true. So I'm going to show you just a couple of the shorts from Carl's site. I know he won't bother that I've borrowed them. I'll give them you back, Carl. And I just want you to see exactly why Carl, myself, mental lawyer, a lot of other YouTubers, you viewers are all getting uptight. However, as much as it's irritating us and we're all trying to do this pushback, it's not stopping Tim. He's still gone from channel to channel on court TV. He's still doing this. And to me, yeah, that doesn't smell very good. Because listen to this.
But I agree on Wendy. She looks terrible. And not only was she a liar, she came across smug. And the one thing that jurors hate are smug liars. And my friend was on the second jury. He said they didn't believe a word Magbana said. They didn't believe a word Wendy said.
Did you catch that again? Just a minute. I'm just gonna get his words straight.
A word Magbana said. They didn't be smug liars. And my friend was on the second jury.
My friend was on the second jury. He always knows somebody. There's always somebody in his ear. Forget that. But this offer, I think that's come from somewhere. Deliberate, obviously. And not from himself entirely. But have you seen all that? Wendy was a liar, blah, blah, blah. And yet we've just heard on Lawyer, where, he said her eyes was mesmerising. And wait till I play you the next one. And they don't think they've got enough on Wendy. Tim, she was at the crime scene. I could start talking about Wendy Adelson and everything to do with evidence at 8 o'clock in the morning and still be going at 8 o'clock at night and not repeat myself. Did you listen to Carl Steinbeck's 109 pieces of evidence against Wendy, reasons why she could be found guilty? The very first time I saw Wendy's video, that interview, I said she was guilty straight away. I've always felt like I could see through her. And at that time, I'll be honest with you, I was surprised I got a lot of pushback, even from some YouTubers. You know, said like, really? What? Blah, blah, blah. But I know like a few YouTubers now have come round because they've seen more and more evidence. And it's like, oh, yeah. And that's fine. I've done that with people where I've not been able to see through them. But I could just see through Wendy straight away. And he's saying like, I don't think they've got enough. And people think, I'm getting paid by the Adelsons. She was at the crime scene. Minutes later, Mag Bannower knew the job was done. She'd split up with Jeffrey Lacaz, but she wanted to know what route he was taking that morning. I mean, we could just go on forever, couldn't we? We could just, she did. Have you ever seen a woman go through a crime scene tape to find out what's happening with the children in the house? Wendy did a 3-point turn and went. She didn't go through that crime scene tape. She didn't get out the car screaming, "Where's my children? Are they okay?" Yeah, because by that time they were supposed to have been in school, but she didn't actually know where Dan was or where them children was. And it was at her house. Have you ever seen videos on YouTube where a guy has tried to snatch a kid and then you watch the power in that woman? There was none of that in Wendy. Absolutely none. Anyway, I can see I'm wasting my time with you, Tim, with regards to this, because, you're on a mission. In my opinion, you're on a mission. Let's listen to the next one.
Wendy had more motive than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when he's correct. If she hid assets, $500,000 in assets on legal forms in a court proceeding, she could have been disbarred. She clearly would have lost her job at Florida State.
Right.
That alone would be sufficient for someone to lose to commit a crime of murder.
Now, I'm also going to put a link below with regards a video that Mentor Lawyer has done, which I want you to watch. I seem to be sending everybody away from my channel, have you noticed? Don't go yet. But it's, again, it's something that Tim Jensen seems to be mixed up in. Now, we keep hearing about these two informants. One of them's called Bryant. She is the one that, now I'm paraphrasing here. As you know, I've been poorly, so I'm just giving you bits of it because I want you to watch all of it. So Bryant got information from Donna. Obviously, she's looking for a lesser sentence and that. And from what I can gather, went to one of the detectives or informed one of the detectives who had said, you can speak to her, but you can't ask her any questions. Okay. Which she did. Off the back of that, another informant who in the past Tim Jensen has represented, she's come forward and said, I heard this informant actually asking Donna questions to put a block on it. So look into that. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to put all these links with Carl and Mentor Law below. So what's going on? What's going on? Why the big change? Why the big flip? Now, also, I just want to speak about where, because of this deal being put out there, this offer to Donna Adelson, obviously, Jack Campbell has to, like, damage control, if you like. I'm using that word a lot tonight. Has to do damage control on that, and he has to counteract that straight away in order that it doesn't affect the case. And this is where it's very suspect for me, because this is what I feel, this is what I think Tim Jensen is trying to do for some reason. Now, I don't know whether it's as any favours for anybody. I don't know what it is. I'm just telling you what my opinion is. Because anything else doesn't make sense. You know that? Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. Right, so I'm just gonna let you listen to Jack Campbell, and also you can see that there's a couple of statements from Court TV and just 1 minute, sorry, WTXL Tallahassee News, and you can see in quotes on both of them it says, just let me put my glasses on, let's get this correct, it says in quotes that Adelson's attorney Joshua Selman has confirmed to ABC 27 via email that no offer was made by the state to Mrs. Adelson, and the same was said to Court TV and the WTXL. Right, now, just to say that I do know that Joel did mention, like I said, no shade, I'm coming back to Joel in a minute, now he did say that a message or email was sent to him and it said no firm, I think it was from Joshua Selman, no firm offer ad. Now, I wouldn't expect anything less from the defence. Now, I don't know whether that came via Tim Jensen or it came directly from Joshua Selman. However, I think it's a bit suspect how the one that was sent to a YouTube channel had the no firm evidence, which felt to me as though they were still trying to keep that message out there, and yet on like mainstream media the word firm was not put in there. It's it's in speech and it's in speech brackets, sorry, and it's not got that word in it. It just says no offer was made, and Jack Campbell says it just didn't happen. Okay, now I'm going to go with that because there's three different lots of evidence, if you like, there from the defence and from Jack Campbell that it didn't happen. And the only one that says firm is the one that was sent to Joel. That's not Joel's fault. He's asked the question.
I would like to start with the latest that you've been dealing with in terms of the Adelson trial pertaining to rumours of a plea deal.
It's just totally unfounded and untrue. No such plea offer has been extended.
State Attorney Jack Campbell firmly denying any plea negotiations for Donna Adelson. Adelson is accused of orchestrating a murder-for-hire plot in Tallahassee, which led to the death of her former son-in-law, Florida State professor Dan Markell, in 2014. Reports that Adelson had been offered a plea deal of time served if she testified against her daughter and Markell's ex-wife, Wendy Adelson, were first reported on the podcast Surviving the Survivor. Adelson's attorney, Joshua Selman, also confirmed to me in an email that no offer was made by the state to Mrs. Adelson. Do you expect this rumour to have any impact on that jury selection?
Well, that's my concern, and that's why the ethical rules allow pretrial publicity for corrections of things like this, and that's why I so quickly wanted to come out and correct it.
Let me go back to Joel just for a minute, and I like that channel. I just wish Cam was on it a bit more. I like Cam. And by the way, Cam, just sidetracking here a little minute, I'm with you with regards to Harvey Adelson. Yeah, I think he was involved right from the start. The one thing I'd like to do with Harvey Adelson is just put him on the stand and ask him one question: what happened to the TV? Don't forget, Wendy Adelson told the repairman that she wasn't there when it happened. The kids was with her dad. So just like, because that proves he was part of that alibi from before the day of the murder. Right from the start he was in it. Sorry, yeah, just going back to, because I was talking about Joel's channel. I could have somebody on my channel tomorrow. Like I've said before, I don't know what they're going to say if I did a live. Okay, so he doesn't know that. He doesn't know what they're going to say. And not only that, why would he presume for a minute that it wasn't true? You know, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. It's only looking at the bigger picture and looking back at the things Tim Jensen was saying in 2022-23 mainly, and then when you compare them to today, it's like two different people. It's like two different people speaking. It doesn't add up. And if it doesn't add up, it just doesn't add up. And that's not Joel's fault. You know, Joel's not going to have gone back and researched everything Tim has ever said. Why would he? You know, it looks like they've had like quite a good relationship. And, well, you know, by the way, Joe, can I just say, I love Joe Patito as well on your show. Just saying. So yeah, don't put any comments with regards Joel's channel or anything like that, because that's not what I'm doing this for. All I'm trying to do here is just like Carl, just like Mental Lawyer, like Judy, like everybody else, is just make everybody aware of like my research, what I found, and like I said, for as much damage as Tim is trying to do, because I think he's trying to up-tip the trial, because obviously Donna does not like Everett. She wants away from Tallahassee completely, and I think all this is part and parcel of it. I'll tell you what I did think to start with. I thought at first that this offer, there was no offer, but this offer was meant to be like a subliminal, I thought. But this is what I thought. I thought everybody would think, oh, well, she was given an offer and she, you know, for time served. He kept saying that, time served. What, she's only been in there 5 minutes. But she didn't take it. So hand over Wendy, but she didn't take it. And I thought, is he trying to make us think, oh, well, then Wendy must be innocent? Because obviously Wendy can't do anything wrong at the moment now for Tim Jensen. And if I'm wrong, then we will hear Tim Jensen put out another video saying all the things he was saying about Wendy in 2023. Won't we? We'll hear all that. But we're not hearing that. We're hearing just the opposite. So, anyway, that's it for me. Yeah. So, just another quick thing though. Just for my regulars, if you see me trying to do a live, obviously you know I've not done one yet. If you see me, I have told my patrons, just pop on and say, yeah, Dawn, you know, we can see you but we can't hear you. Or we can hear you, which would be more likely, but we can't see you. Just give me a hand. It'll only be a test thing. I'm not going to be streaming. I'll tell you that now. I won't be streaming it. But I am going to try and do some lives, because it would be a lot easier for me to do that. And that's it, guys. Tell me what you think. Yeah, I do want to know about what you think about this video in the comments. I'm not saying, don't say, I want to know, what are your thoughts on it? Do you think I'm off the rails here with it? I don't know how I can be. It just does not add up. And not only that, just say who the source is. Yeah, say who the source is. Say where it's come from. Let's put all this to bed, and let's see if it continues to happen. If something else happens, because if something else does happen, then I'm more than sure that you're trying to do something with this trial. So let's just stop pretending. Let's put our cards on the table instead of holding them close to our chest, and just say what camp you're in. Okay, that's me done. All right, guys. Take care. Stay safe. Look after yourself. And I'll see you soon. Bye.